I tried the new Meta Quest 3S early and it literally just got announced, and in this video I'll be covering everything you need to know about the headset and whether it's worth buying or upgrading from the Quest 2. And of course, how it runs with Beat Saber, because I know a lot of you guys want to know. So I had the opportunity to attend Meta Connect thanks to Meta, and they gave us a day early to demo the Meta Quest 3S, which is why you have Hotel Naysy and probably why the editing on this video is a little bit rushed. But let's get into it. So first up, what are the specs? The Meta Quest 3S is pretty much an upgrade of the Quest 2. The biggest upgrade of the headset by far is the pass-through cameras. This headset has the cameras on the front so you can have full color pass-through and get the most out of all the mixed reality games and pass-through features. So you'll spot 3 little cameras on the front. One is for the RGB stereoscopic color pass-through, one for the VGA sensors for inside-out tracking for hands and controllers, and one camera for flood tracking for illumination for improved hand tracking across different environments. And speaking of the controllers, the Quest 3S uses the exact same controllers of the Quest 3, and I really like these controllers. They're way lighter than the Quest 2 controllers, and in my opinion have pretty decent tracking. And if you're curious how the controllers compare, you can check out my Beat Saber video where I play Beat Saber on every headset, and it's linked down below. The second biggest upgrade is the processor. So the Quest 3S is running the exact same Snapdragon XR2 Gen chip as the Quest 3, which means all the Quest 3 exclusive games they keep announcing, like Batman, Alien Rogue Incursion, and Starship Home, will be playable on the Quest 3S. This also means better performance and speed on the headset as well. The Quest 3S also has better memory/RAM, so it's got 8GB instead of 6GB, so this should help with performance as well. Some other upgrades to note include the battery. It's slightly better with a 4,324 milliamp battery, which with about a 2.5-hour average playtime. And the layout of the headset is pretty similar to the Quest 2 and 3. We have our buttons for power and volume, but something new is a button for pass-through. So if you're in a game and want to see your environment, you can just press the button. But something that is missing though is an audio jack. I don't know why they've opted for this, but if you're a headphone user, you may have to explore some other solutions. The headset though does have the same spatial audio as the Meta Quest 3, so sound quality is really decent in my opinion. I usually don't use any headphones with my Quest 3 at home because I find the inbuilt speakers do the job. But what's the same with the Quest 3S? Well, let's talk resolution. The resolution is the same as the Quest 2, and so are the lenses, which was slightly disappointing, but I get it. This is a cheaper headset, and to keep it cheap, they gotta use cheaper parts. And for this headset, that means the Fresnel lenses. So the resolution is 1832 by 1920 with a 20 ppd, whereas the Quest 3 had a 30% better resolution with a 4K display. The field of view is also the same as the Quest 2 with the 96-degree field of view, and I think the refresh rate is the same as the Quest 3 as well. In terms of resolution though, I didn't feel like I had a subpar experience or anything, but what was subpar was that they've gone and used the damn same default head strap as the Quest 3, which I had a lot of opinions about in my Quest 3 video. This head strap is seriously the most uncomfortable thing ever. So if you're planning to buy this headset or any Quest headset, I highly recommend budgeting in the cost of a new head strap, preferably one with the battery built in for counterbalance. My favorite is always the Bobo VR head straps, but there's plenty of options available online, and I have some of my favorites linked down below. And speaking of comfort, they say that this headset is 20% slimmer than the Quest 2, but it is actually heavier. It's 514 grams, whereas the Quest 2 was 503 grams. So probably barely noticeable, but bigger battery usually means bigger weight. But the headset did feel kind of more front heavy than the Quest 3. I don't have a side-by-side comparison for you guys, but I'll definitely make a more in-depth review and comparison for you once I properly have my hands on one. So what about the cost and release date? So I guess the number one best thing about this headset is the cost. They're launching the 128 gig model for $299 USD, which I think is a bloody good bargain. You can also get the 256 gigabyte model for $399 USD. And if you are new to VR, I think 128 gigabyte is a pretty decent size for most people. And the launch date for this headset is October 15th, and pre-orders are available now. You can use my affiliate link down below. But one of the cool things is that this headset will come packaged with Batman Arkham Shadow, which I got to play at Gamescom, and seriously, this is a really cool game. And it also does come with a 3-month trial of MetaQuest Plus, which gets you a bunch of free games from a big library, plus access to 2 free games every month. So that kind of sweetens the deal too. They did also announce that the Quest 3 128GB model will no longer exist, and now you can only get the 512GB model, and that's at a bit of a price cut as well. So the 512GB Quest 3 is now $499, so that's a bit of a price drop. So that's our Quest lineup at the moment: the Quest 3S 128GB and 256, or the Quest 3 for the 512GB model, which means that the Quest 2 and the Quest Pro will no longer exist. RIP. So I don't know if there will be any discounts on them, but basically what stock is left is all they're selling, and that's it. So what about my experience? So I got to try a couple of things in my very short demo. They showcased the new Amazon Prime Video and music apps. So basically you can play music while multitasking in VR, and you can also watch Amazon Prime videos in VR mode and download them for offline play, which is good if you're traveling and that kind of thing. They also showed me some Xbox Cloud gaming, which is really cool if you haven't checked it out yet. And then I got to play some games. I was most excited to play Just Dance VR, and I've been wanting this to come to VR for the longest time because I've always been a fan. And the game played exactly like you would expect, which is a good thing. You have your Just Dance choreographer in front of you with the prompted moves on the right-hand side, and this all felt very natural and like a really good fit for VR. So I'm excited to play more of this game a bit more seriously instead of feeling really awkward in a room full of strangers. And then finally, I played some Beat Saber, of course, and this felt really nice on the Quest 3S. Like, I already know I love the controllers and felt like it was a similar experience to playing on the Quest 3. I played my go-to song Firestarter by Tenga, and all up I missed like 15 notes, but that was totally me just missing them. Tracking felt really good. And no flex, but the demo people were kind of impressed, so that was kind of cool. In terms of games though, I kind of wish I had more time to try some other stuff. Like, some games that were available is Metro Awakening and Behemoth. I didn't get to try them on the Quest 3S, but everyone said they look and felt great on the headset, so that's a good sign. And a side note, which is a bit irrelevant to this video, but Alchemy Labs, who are the creators of Job Simulator, just announced a really cool free game I tried at Gamescom called Dimensional Double Shift. It's basically like Job Simulator, but multiplayer with your hand tracking. And it's available on September 26th, and it's a really cool game, hence why I wanted to mention it. So if you like free games and Job Simulator, you should check that one out. So, should you buy it? So that pretty much wraps up my impressions of the new MetaQuest 3S. And to be honest, there's not a huge amount to say about it because it's very similar to the Quest 3 in all the right ways. And if you are thinking of buying the Quest 3S as an upgrade from the Quest 2, or if you're buying it for the first time, I think it really comes down to whether you want the advantage of the mixed reality pass-through cameras and the improved processor. I think mixed reality is an amazing feature, and there's so many awesome mixed reality games out there that I think are worth checking out. But it does depend on what games you like to play. Like, if you just like to play Beat Saber or just Gorilla Tag, will you notice a difference? I will say though, I got way better performance in my Quest 3 for games like Gorilla Tag, so upgrading can make a big difference. But if a friend or family member asked me what headset to buy, I would probably most likely recommend the MetaQuest 3S. Like, it's the cheapest and has the best features available right now. But if you know you love playing the big games, like if Behemoth is up your alley, or Asgard's Wrath, or Metro Awakening, then maybe I'd probably recommend the Quest 3. They're the type of games you really want the improved resolution for, and where you're really going to see an advantage of the increased storage space. But all up, VR is in a pretty good space right now. Like, the fact you can have a standalone headset capable of playing a huge library of VR games and media while also doing mixed reality for only $299 is pretty cool in my eyes. And I think Meta has made it pretty clear that they're dedicated to mixed reality and want to push that further. But they can only do that with better hardware and if everyone is using it. So we'll probably start to see more and more games that stop supporting the Quest 2 maybe, I don't know. But let me know what you think of the MetaQuest 3S in the comments, of whether you're gonna buy it. And as always, make sure to write banana in the comments if you watch all the way through. And goodbye from America in my hotel room, and I'll see you back in Australia. Bye.